And now, from 12 Studios, this is News 12 Now.
Today is Wednesday, October 23rd. Welcome to News 12 Now. I'm Kylie Dudman. New this afternoon, our top story today, at least one person has died and 4 dozen others have been infected by E. coli by what could be some McDonald's Quarter Pounder burgers, according to the CDC. At least a dozen states have been linked to the outbreak, including Oklahoma. Nancy Chen looks at what McDonald's is doing about it.
It's the world's largest fast food chain with more than 40,000 restaurants serving billions of burgers worldwide every year. But now investigators are working to confirm the food source that made dozens sick. The CDC says that 49 people have been infected with E. coli so far, and most reported eating a Quarter Pounder from McDonald's before falling ill. McDonald's says it's pulled the burger from menus in impacted locations and that it's linked a subset of cases to slivered onions sourced from a single supplier, which serves 3 distribution centers.
Other beef products at McDonald's, including the cheeseburger, hamburger, Big Mac, McDouble, and the double cheeseburger, are not impacted.
So far, 1 death has been linked to the outbreak. 10 people have been hospitalized, including a child who developed severe kidney complications.
People can get really sick from this. The symptoms include diarrhea, which could be bloody, abdominal cramping, vomiting, fever, and you can get severely dehydrated.
The same E. coli strain caused 4 people to fall ill and die after an outbreak impacted dozens of Jack in the Box restaurants in the early 90s. Food safety advocate Darren Detweiler's 1-year-old son was among them.
I would imagine that the conversation around food safety is going to change within the industry after the news of McDonald's outbreak, not because of the ingredient, not because of the specific pathogen or the numbers, but because of that idea of no company is immune.
In a statement, McDonald's says it's working to replenish supplies of the Quarter Pounder in the coming weeks. It added the company will continue to cooperate with the CDC as it works to restore its full menu. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
New on 12 and now, an Atoka man is in jail on a slew of charges after a 7-hour standoff involving gunfire on Sunday. Court documents state 52-year-old Timothy Michael Sr. allegedly beat his wife with a wrench and threatened to shoot his son when he tried to intervene and protect his mother. They were able to run away and call for help, with Michael Sr. shooting at them several times. Michael Sr. then holed up inside the home and wouldn't come out, but was eventually taken into custody by SWAT. A DFW area teacher has been arrested for allegedly having sex with an underage former student. Police say they got a tip that 45-year-old Angela Barnes, who teaches at Carroll Middle School in Keller, was involved with the teen. She was arrested Monday after detectives found evidence of a sexual relationship over the summer. The school has placed her on administrative leave. A number of people are dead or injured after a deadly attack at a Turkish aerospace and defense company. The Interior Minister announcing the attack occurred today at the company located on the outskirts of the country's capital, Ankara. Local media reporting a shooting and a blast occurred at the site. First responders are currently at the scene. No further details have been released.
And as we head into this afternoon, it is already on the warmer side of things. Some of us already knocking on the door to near 90 degrees. That comes after a fairly warm morning, too, with those temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 60s for a lot of us. So the lack of fall continues here in Texoma, and if anything, it's actually going to get hotter as we go through this afternoon. Good news is, though, eventually we will start to come down with those temperatures heading into the weekend, at least slightly, but it's staying warm. Winds are actually not too bad either this afternoon, but they will be picking back up into tomorrow. So fire danger really not too bad today. It's still there, but it really starts to accelerate back tomorrow. I think the biggest story today, though, will be that record high temperature potential as we head into this afternoon. But we are expecting a pattern change into next week. There are still some questions, though, as to just what that looks like and when we'll get it. Could maybe see some rain as we head into that Wednesday time frame, and maybe a dark and stormy night for Halloween. We'll see. We'll talk about it on the full forecast coming up here in just a minute. Till then, back to you, Kylie.
All right, thank you, Brian. The city of Ardmore is cracking down on animal neglect. If animal control gets a tip or complaint, the city says it will give owners a chance to step up and take care of business. But if the owners don't and the animal is in unsafe conditions or is without food and water, the city takes in the animal and dishes out punishments to the owner.
Animals such as dogs and cats are completely dependent on their owners. You know, they can't feed themselves, they can't water themselves. And so in our case, we want to make sure that those owners are responsible and held accountable for taking care of their animals.
Boatwright says the best thing to do is register your furry friend with the city. And if you think animals are in harm's way, pick up the phone and give the city a call. Whitesboro City Council members approved an interim city administrator last night. Members voted to appoint Phil Harris as interim city administrator at Tuesday night's meeting. Now, this comes just 1 week after council voted to place previous administrator Julie Arrington on a 30-day paid leave, saying they lost trust in her. They brought in Harris and say they are confident in their decision to vote him in due to his extensive background in accounting. Well, $10 million. That's how much money the city of Dorchester is seeking in restitution and economic damages from Black Mountain Dorchester. The company proposed a more than 600-acre cement kiln that would be located near Taylor Road and FM 902. News 12 has obtained a 70-page petition filed in Grayson County, which lists the details of the case.
We had to go through our due process with TCEQ, and once we didn't see a lot of movement on it, then we started this process. So it's been several months now we've been working on it.
A primary concern is how the kiln would hinder Dorchester's growth by hurting residential developments, businesses, and schools. The suit claims that Black Mountain concealed facts in its air quality permit application of November 2021 to get approval. Now, we've reached out to Black Mountain. The company tells us they have not received the complaint. And taking a look at national news now, Boeing workers are voting today on the latest offer from the company, hoping to end the nearly 6-week strike. The newest contract proposal would increase pay by 35% over 4 years. It would boost the signing bonus to $7,000 per worker and offer improved health and retirement benefits. The company is still saying no to restoring its pension plan, but is proposing to increase matching contributions to 401ks. The strike has halted production of the company's most popular planes, and Boeing now says its quarterly losses surged to more than $6 billion.
The ones that make it happen, building the airplane, and they're still not recognizing the fact that they wouldn't be where they're at or be receiving what they're receiving if it weren't for us down on the floor building the airplane.
Since the start of the walkout, Boeing has announced it will cut 17,000 jobs. That's 10% of its workforce. The federal government issued a $50 million fine against American Airlines. A multi-agency investigation uncovered repeat violations of rules designed to protect airline passengers who use wheelchairs. The investigation, led by the Department of Transportation, found American had serious violations of disabled passenger rules between 2019 and 2023. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says American mishandled and damaged thousands of wheelchairs and failed to provide adequate assistance to disabled passengers. American Airlines says it has already spent $175 million this year on services, infrastructure, training, and new technology. It added it takes all such complaints and claims seriously and works hard to remediate them. The DOT says it has investigations into similar violations at other U.S. airlines. Well, we are now officially less than 2 weeks from Election Day, and the candidates are continuing their coverage, trying to sway voters in key battleground states. CBS News' Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
The Trump campaign is pushing back against a New York Times interview with the former president's chief of staff, John Kelly.
He's certainly an authoritarian, admires people who are dictators. He has said that. So he certainly falls into the general definition of fascist, for sure.
The retired general also said Trump demands loyalty to himself over the Constitution, and in response to Trump's recent comments about using the military against domestic opponents, Kelly said advisors repeatedly told Trump not to do that.
Originally, the conversation would be, Mr. President, that's outside your authority, or, that's a routine use. You really don't want to do that inside the United States. But now that he's talking about it as I'm going to do it is it's disturbing.
A Trump campaign spokesperson dismissed the interview and told The Times Kelly had, quote, beclowned himself.
Back in August, Trump called Kelly, quote, dumb and a weak bully. Last night on the campaign trail, the former president made more disparaging comments about other retired generals who served in his administration.
What a stupid group of people they were. Mattis, Milley.
On the Democratic side, vice presidential nominee Governor Tim Walz cast his ballot in Minnesota Wednesday morning.
John Kelly's, who I thank for showing the courage to come forward, truly telling the world, those closest to Donald Trump know how dangerous he is.
Tuesday night, the Harris-Walz ticket got an assist from former President Barack Obama, who rallied in Detroit with Eminem. Tomorrow, Obama will rally with Vice President Kamala Harris for the first time in Atlanta. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Thank you for watching today's News 12 Now. Make sure to subscribe so you find out why Texoma turns to us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where you'll see more social media exclusive content. Want more News 12 Now? Watch us live every weekday through the KXII app on your phone or TV and through our website.